Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday again. Hooray for us who still work. April 14th, and today is the Monday recap, where we will cover and go over where we stand heading into the week for various YieldMax funds, mainly being MSTY, right? But of course, TSLY, NVDY, PLTY, SMCY, AMZY, the whole gang there. And then at the end of this video, I will do an update to my options trading journey because, as you know, I'm doing one video a day through baseball season because, it's just not really reasonable for me to do any more at this point. It's just, become too much. But I'm doing the tracking anyway for that journey specifically, so it's going to be added to the Monday recap every single week, and it'll be an update of where I stand on how I did on options and where what plans are for the upcoming week. So that'll be kind of the schedule going forward as far as the videos are concerned. So that's why you haven't seen a separate options video, because it's always going to be attached to the Monday recap. All right. Anyway, so let's get to it. What you see up on the screen, this is MSTY. They have 3 synthetic positions. They have a 330, a 290. Oh, no, they have 4. I'm sorry. A 330, a 290, a 270, and a 260, right? MSTR is at 299 at the moment. So the only one that is actually not in a favorable position is the 330. But the pre-market says, it's basically showing good things. So we may have a chance, within 33 days, of course we have a chance, but we may have a chance even this week to turn this into a profitable synthetic position, which will be awesome, because then we would have 4 very profitable synthetic positions, and then we could be talking, some good distributions down the road. I know we just got paid, so and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but you never know, man. That the future looks bright. Let's see. All right, so the weeklies tab is usually, it's kind of where we talk about the positions. At least it was in the past, but we have graduated from that and moved on to just looking at it through the holdings view. It's showing that I'm still in this spreadsheet from my laptop. But yeah, there's a lot of positions, and unfortunately, guys, like we said, the pre-market looks pretty green. So our 305 right at the top, 305 strike price, bye-bye. Yeah, that thing's capped. See you later, buddy. You're gone. But, they have credit call spreads, long calls down here. First one is 15% away. Yeah, kind of far, but we'll see what happens with all that. But anyway, they have various strike prices. They are scattered-doo. 305, 310, 312.50, 317.50. Oh my God, I'm sweating. And then 325, 330, 332.50, 340, and then a 370 at the bottom. That one's going to be our favorite one this week for sure. But yeah, we could be capped. We could be walking around in the office this week being capped. We're going to be limited on the upside for sure, but it's okay. We're going up, and our synthetics are going to make, good money. So we'll see. It'll be the battle of the upside for sure. Obviously, we could see here 305 is 1.67% away. And I know it's only Monday, and, we could flip red as fast as we are green. So we really can't predict what's going to happen here. But we have strikes all over the place. Again, 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 13, and 23% out of the money. So we're pretty much ready for it all. Okay? The good, the bad, and the ugly. And back to the weeklies tab. I'll do a quick recap. From the top, our IV, or 30-day IV for MSTR, is 94%. Outstanding shares, 126 mil. Total net income so far, 22.2 mil. That would produce a distribution of 18 cents a share, 4 cents a day, daily yield 0.18%. And if you annualize that, sucker, 64%. Cool. Cool. Can you guess what this guy is from and the name of the movie? All right. I shouldn't have to say it, but that's pre-market, right? Pre-market. Get it? Anyway, Group D declares again in 23 days, May 7th. Woohoo! All right, payment information. I know it's too early to talk about payment information, but it really is it? Not. We love payment information. Short call income is 22 mil, all right? We'll ignore the synthetic for now. We trust that'll flip into a nice little profit. But for now, let's look at the weeklies. If we made 22 million already, and it produces 18 cents a share, all things being equal, with the number of days left, how much will we get paid? This is showing 99 cents, which is a 64% yield. Well, that's not really going to cut it. So let's use the IV as the yield, and that would be $1.44. So next payment, anywhere from 99 to $1.44. Yeah, okay. Well, $1.44 is greater than the last payment. But again, we don't know what the future will hold. The market could flip green. It could tank even more. Who the hell knows? All right, we talked about the covered calls. Here's the synthetics in pink. Again, there's 4 synthetics. All expire May 16th. And there's the dudes. You know, is there gold diggers? Not really. I think it'll be all fine. I think these dudes can afford the ladies. And our synthetic is overall in a profitable position. They're up 64 cents per share on paper. The value of the MSTY fund is $2.5 billion. The NAV is at 1985. Closing trade price on the Friday, 1988, for what it's worth. And then what do we got? So far, again, I know I said I was going to fix the contract, but we'll do that throughout the week. But the total synthetic contracts currently reflects, again, 83,315. Total ones that they're selling on, 88,315. But they do have, obviously long calls attached to them. But there are 54,508 contracts without, the credit call spread, just the covered calls, which, you know what I mean? It's good and it's bad. It's bad if we go up like 30% this week, right? And it's good when we kind of stay flat and trade, minimally, like up 5%, down 5%, stuff like that. But anyway, that's the update on MSTY. So let's move on. I haven't even really talked about earnings. I don't know when any of these freaking things have earnings. Who the hell can keep up anyway? All right, so here's TSLY. Let's just look at their holdings real quick. Right now, they have 4 strike prices on Tesla: 260, 250, 265, 267, 50, and 270. That's 4, 5, 6, and 7% out of the money. If Tesla goes up this week, like 10%, yeah, that sucks. All right. But again, it's freaking Monday. Let's give it a break. I know the pre-market, we may be getting a little too excited, because as quick and as excited as we can get, we know we can be shut down, right? China will come out, say, we're going to tariff you 500% or something, and then there we go. The market go down maybe. I don't know. So the value of the current synthetic, it's a synthetic 225, right? Tesla's at 252. So this is in a good spot, right? The pink lady, we can afford her because the dude has 152 mil. So as far as TSLY synthetic, great position to be in. It's actually worth 93 cents per share. So good start. Nice. I like it. Let's go. By the way, TSLY is declaring this week, and I did the guesstimate video yesterday, and I will pin it to the top of the comments of this video if you guys would like to watch it. Sound good? Great. Wonderful. All right. The value of the TSLY fund is 911 mil. The NAV is 826, trade price 828. 30-day IV of Tesla is 83%. IV estimate based on that is 53 cents. Income estimate's negative, so we can't really use that for reference. Group A declares in 2 days, as we said, on April 16th. And by the way, guys, Friday is closed. The market is closed My job's not closed, but the market is closed because it's Good Friday. Schools are closed too. In fact, I think schools might be closed Thursday, and then they're closed all week next week. Good Lord. But yeah, good luck with that for those that have kids. All right, let's move on. NVIDIA, let's go to their holdings first, see how they're doing. Yeah, 4 strikes, 114, 115, 116, 117, 2, 3, 4, 5% out of the money. Again, not much wiggle room on this one. And NVIDIA, I believe Trump said they're going to limit the tariffs or make it exempt on chips. So, yeah, NVIDIA should be up, and up. You would think. So we're probably going to be capped here. But, time will tell. How about the synthetic? Well, the synthetic 95, that's doing great. That expires May 16th. The synthetic 130, that's another story. That expires this Thursday. Again, Thursday is when the options contracts expire because the 18th is the Friday, and the Friday is a holiday, so 17th it is. All right, will we make money on the 130? Well, if NVIDIA flies to the moon, sure. We'll see how things go, though. But, of course, we will be capped because of the covered calls. The value of the NVIDIA fund is 1.2 bill. The NAV is 1524. Trade price 1523. And synthetic is in the negative, but let's skip down to the 30-day IV of NVIDIA. It's 57%, so that's pretty decent. IV estimate based on that, 68 cents. Income estimate so far, it's negative, so we can't use it. Group B declares next week on April the 23rd. That's 9 days away, so stay tuned for that. Let's move on to AMZY. Just check out their calls, or call, I should say. One covered call, all eggs in one basket, 190. 2.77% out of the money. They did buy a call at 200. That's 8% away, so, pretty big gap there. But who knows what Amazon, how much Amazon can really move this week. We'll see, though. Their synthetic is a 190. Amazon's at 184, so they're playing from behind, but that should be pretty easy to catch. And their synthetic, where is it? It expires May 16th. The value of AMZY fund is 233 mil. The NAV is 1522. Closing trade price on the Friday was 1519. Synthetic is in the negative, so nothing to report there. 30-day IV of Amazon is 51%. IV estimate based on that is 60 cents. Income estimate produces 7 cents, which I know is not even worth mentioning, but at least it's income. Group D declares again. Again, they just declared, so they declare again in 23 days on May 7th. All right, sound good? Great, wonderful. All right, up next is CONY, your boy CONY. Okay, so CONY has 5 covered calls, 5 strikes. Are we in a good spot? Well, some of them are tight, right? They have a 180, 182.50, 185, 187.50, and 190. The gap is 2 all the way up to 8% out of the money. As we know, coin can go up pretty damn high, pretty damn fast. So are these safe? No, absolutely not. But, at the same time in this market, maybe. We just don't know. We have to let it play out. Again, we have 4 trading days this week. All right. Synthetic-wise, they have a 160 that's doing well. But then they have a 185 and a 220 that are not doing too well because coin is at 175. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, expires May 16th, so let's let them breathe a little. The value of the CONY fund, it's almost at a bill. Could get there again. It's at 923 mil. The NAV is 721, trade price 722. Synthetics in the negative, so nothing to report there. 30-day IV of coin is 82%, which is pretty damn high. IV estimate based on that 46 cents. Income estimate's negative. Group C is declaring again in 16 days on April 30th. How's that sound? Good? Great. Wonderful. Birds are out. I hear them. Can I get a jog in today? Maybe, maybe not. All right, this is SMCY. I know it's a lot of data. It's just a Monday recap, but it's a lot of freaking info. All right. my son got up early with me, 4 a.m. I went to go make the video. He's like, why do you have to make a video? I was like, I'm not sure I know the answer to that, but I just have to. Anyway, should have brought him in the garage with me, right? So what do we got? We got 2 strikes for SMCY. Unfortunately, the largest position has the lower strike. It's 35.50, 7% out of the money, and the higher strike is 36, 8.6% out of the money, which, okay, that's decent wiggle room, maybe, but SMCI, we see how SMCI moves. It's freaking nuts. So really, is anything safe ever? So as far as synthetic positions, they have a 35. That one's fine. That's basically at the money, and it expires on May 16th. Now the 57, you can just forget that. That one expires Thursday, right? Thursday. And it's how far away? 71% away. You take my money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger. Okay, I guess my voice still sucks. Well, we did have a game yesterday. But, yeah. Yeah, that's a gold digger. Why is it a gold digger? I mean, come on, man. Look at this. 80 mil. The chick wants 80 mil from us. We have to pay to get rid of this position. And the put is pink because the put is the chick in the relationship. We go down to the dude, $57 dude, call, right? He's long call. How's he doing? He has 50,000 to his name. So he married a woman who's going to take way more than half. She's going to take 80 mil. He's left with 50K. What a disaster that is. But don't worry, guys. We have 4 trading days. A lot can happen, except us actually making money on this synthetic, unfortunately. Again, it's already priced in, so it is what it is. It's just going to be a taxable event of realized loss, and it'll be all good. And then the 35, again, let's let that play out. Hopefully that one could flip into a profit. But for now, yeah, we got the gold digger. There's nothing we could do, man. Nothing we could do. I had to sing. Sorry. Anyway, the value of the SMCY fund is 119 mil. The NAV is 1834. Trade price 1827. 7-cent gap. All right. Synthetics in the negative. 30-day IV is 108%. That's freaking awesome. IV estimate is $1.52. Income estimate 116. Good Lord. Is that even accurate? They made that much money already? Holy crap. I'm sure I talked about this already, but I just got to double check. SMCY. Yeah, I didn't even update the info. I don't know what it's picking. Is it picking up MSTYs? Yeah, it's picking up MSTYs. 56. It's got to pick up 57. Sorry, didn't want to get your hopes up. There you go, 0. It's not 0. I'll fix it tomorrow. Anyway, Group D declares in 23 days, May 7th. All right, wonderful. Now, Palantir. Everyone's favorite fund to either bash or love. It's a love-hate thing, right? How they doing? They got 1 strike. Simple. They look like AMZY. 1 strike. 93. 5% out of the money. Is it safe? Well, are any of us safe? Really? Not really. The Palantir synthetic here, $80. Palantir price, 88. Cha-ching. Show me the money. Good spot to be in. Way down here is the value of the PLTY fund, 177 mil. The NAV is 56.87. Trade price, 57, 20-cent gap, huh? Synthetic is worth $5.79 per share, so that's freaking awesome. 30-day IV is 92%. IV estimate based on that is 406. Income estimate ain't worth a damn yet, and Group B declares in 8 days. That's next week on April 22nd. Assuming I have the dates right. Again, I'll check that later. But yeah, that's the update on all the funds. Let's go to pre-market, and then we'll talk about my options trading journey. Sound good? Great. All right, so this is marketwatch.com. And the time is 5:27. That's not bad. So let's just get to it. All right, Tesla's not too green. It's up 1.15%. It's at 255.20. TSLY is up 0.85%, 835. Yeah, so what was Tesla up? 1.15. We're getting 0.85. I know it's pre-market, but still. Nvidia is up 1.97%. All right, it's at 113.12. Let's see what Nvidia can capture right now. Wow, even more. I don't know how, but it is. It's up 2.17%. It's at 1556. All right, let's see what Coin's made of. Coin is up 1.86%, 178.77. Let's see what CONY can capture of that. Ooh, pretty much all of it. CONY is up 1.8%. It's at $7.35. MSTR, you're up. MSTR is up 1.54%. Again, this is not, not too crazy awesome, right? It's good. It's not like we're blowing through the roof here. But they're up 1.54%. They're at 304.88. Let's see what MSTY can capture. Damn, a little more? No, a little less. 1.56%. They're at $20 again. MSTY is at $20 again. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? $20.19. Awesome. TSLY is up 2.26%, $8.60. I'd like to see that. TNA is up 2.43%, $22.31. AMZY is up 1.65%, $15.44. Bitcoin is up 0.85%, $84,639. BitX is up 1.59%, $36.47. Soxel's up 3.71%. Yeah, they should be up a lot today because of the whole chip thing. But we'll see. Again, it's pre-market. It's only 5:30 in the morning. A lot of people still sleeping. Lucky for them. But maybe people will buy in today. I don't know. It's at 1060. SMCY is up. See, man, this thing freaking moves. It's up 4.83%, $34.75. SMCY is up 4%, $19. Palantir is up 2.47%. They're at 90.60. PLTY's up 58.20. They're up 1.98%. They're at 58.20. So that's pretty much the update on the pre-market. So yes, everything is green. Not like we said, not crazy green, but green. So that's pretty good. That's good stuff, right? Goody. All right, so now I'm going to get into where I stand on my options trading journey. Because again, yes, obviously I'm trading options. And in fact, I'm trading more options in my account because I sold out of some funds to kind of liquidate to do more puts. And I'm also changing how I'm tracking my options going forward. So the old way was all the funds go on one page here, right? And that was the plan. So, and I tracked everything on the bottom, right? But it just got to be too much. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you my new format, and I'm going to start it today. But before I did that, I just wanted to show you, obviously, I did track this week this way. It's the last week though. But again, going forward, this is it. So this is TSLY new format, all right? And I hid any, so the idea is as soon as the wheel begins when I sell the put, right? I was beginning the wheel once I get assigned on a put, but that doesn't really make sense. So as soon as I sell the first put on TSLY, that's when the wheel starts. Again, after the other wheel, of course. So this is a new wheel, and hidden above rows 37 to row 2 are various previous transactions that were made. And these three that are unhidden, they were the active ones, right? So let's see what we had here. We had last week, I sold a put on TSLY with a strike price of $8, okay? At the time, it was 10, and it was 20% out of the money. So obviously, if it stayed at 10, I would not get assigned. I would not have to buy the shares at $8. TSLY closed at $8.41. So it got pretty damn close, but it did stay above $8. So it stayed, it's 4.88% out of the money when all said and done. I wasn't able to capture the delta on that, but that's something I will add going forward on everything. Premium per share, I got 22 cents per share, 100 shares a contract, so I got $22 total, and that annualized a 125% income. Check out my new annualized formula. It does it all for me now, baby. Look at that. That's a beauty. I don't have to figure out, okay, is it in the same week? Is it not in the same week? It's doing it all right? So no need to manually modify. Someone asked me on Twitter or X, is this spreadsheet shareable? Yes, I'll share it in the Discord. Not yet. I just need like a week or two to see if I'm going to change anything. Then after that, I'll just produce like a template version, and I can share that with you guys on the Discord. All right. And yes, the Discord is freaking free. All right. It's a chat room, basically. Of course, it's free. Yeah, if you guys join, the link is in my channel description. If you join, if you get any direct messages from me or the moderators, it's fake. It's spam. Bunch of scammers everywhere. Just don't even accept messages from anyone unless you know them. All right. I'm not going to message you. No, the moderators are not going to message you, and they're not going to ask about how your journey's going and if you would like to buy Bitcoin or something stupid like that. Right. So just please ignore the scammers. All right, let's move on. So TSLL, guys, I'm a bag holder. All right, let's be real here. In this environment, look at this. Look at the put assignments. Look at that, man. I got assigned at 22, at 21, at 19, at 18, at 17, 16, 12, 11. Man, I'm a bag holder. I don't care. I have 900 shares with a cost basis of $17.22. And guess what? I don't give a damn. You know what? You know what I'm doing? I'm using those shares and I'm selling calls. All right? Low delta calls, of course, right? We speak Greek now because we have to. We had to change the game because the game changed. So what happens? All right, well, let's see. TSLL was at 824. I said, okay, $10 strike, that seems safe to me because it's 21% out of the money. The delta was 0.19, and they say sometimes they use that as a percentage of assignment. 19% of assignment, right? That's pretty good odds, right? In my favor that I won't get assigned. So again, 21% out of the money, delta under 20. Feel pretty good about that. And it paid what? 16 cents per share or $16 total, which annualized at 163%. So that's good income, right? Where did TSLL close at? Well, the current price, it's actually up here. I forgot I added it up there. It closed at 841. So guess what? It did not go over $10, right? It did not go past $10 and put me in danger. It went to 841, which is under 10. So this covered call expired worthless. So I collected the money on the shares and I moved on with my life. And then I sold another covered call at the time. TSLL actually went down because the first covered call, it was at 824 and I sold at 10. And then TSLL went down even further and I said, I don't give a crap. And I sold a $9 strike. At the time, 26% out of the money seemed pretty safe, right? And it was a 16 delta. That's even lesser than the other delta. So very little percent chance of assignment. However, it did get close, right? It closed at 841, 7% away. But still, it didn't make it, so it expired worthless. So in the end, I collected 14 cents per share or $14. Pretty good annualized numbers there, 240%, 48% yield. Because again, what am I fronting, really? Well, I'm fronting 710, technically, right? Because that's what the stock price was worth at the time. So that's, $710. I'm collecting 14 in a short period of time, right? Expiration days, 2 days, right? I did that for a 2-day expiration. So no brainer, man, no brainer. All right, so that's the update on TSLL trades that, they closed out. I have nothing active, no covered calls, which I'm happy about because, again, today it may open super green. All right, so down here, again, what you saw before, this is the, you know, disaster, you could call it. But again, you got to work with what you got. So that's what I got. I got 900 shares at 17.22. By the way, total premium earned through this current wheel, $1,062. That's the total premium I've earned from TSLL. So if I use that premium income and I divide that by 900 shares, technically I made a premium credit of $1.18 per share. If I use that, right, and I say, okay, my cost basis after the options trading technically is 1604. And sometimes people do that. Sometimes people, like, if they get in a tough spot and they don't care if they end out with a break even, they would use that as their cost basis. I am not. I'm just putting it there for reference. So I'm still under the assumption of the 722 cost basis. So, we'll see how things go, though. We'll see how things go. Things could change. And then obviously to the right here, I'll calculate, the call assignments as they come in. If I lose money, like, my plan is, just so you guys know, and I'll explain it really quick. I know I'm dragging on, but hopefully this helps you guys. This call, say actually, we'll do the 9 because it was lower. Let's just say this $9 covered call. Like, let's say TSLL closed at 950, right? What I would have done is just rolled it. I would have rolled it out a week, right? Because I don't want it to get assigned, because obviously I don't even have, not one of my shares is even a $9 cost basis. If one of them was 9, it wouldn't be a big deal if it got assigned. But one of them is not 9. But okay, so regardless of that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll the crap out of that $9 week over week over week. And if TSLL kept going up, say it got to 15, I probably not going to be able to roll it anymore, right? It's going to be assigned early. I'm certain of that. But again, that's the risk you take. But I'm going to squeeze as much juice out of those calls. Those shares are going to produce me as much premium as they can before they say bye-bye. So that's the plan if I get in danger. Because, again, I could get in danger because, 20% out of the money, it seems safe, right? 26% out of the money seems pretty safe, but you never know with Tesla. It could fly up, right? And TSLL, it's double leverage Tesla. So obviously if Tesla goes up 15%, right, that's 30% on TSLL, which puts us in the money. So hopefully that made sense. If not, then I'm sorry. I'll try again next time. All right, this one, I put myself in a little bit of a bind. So I told myself like a week or two ago, I said going forward, it's indexes only, and TSLL. That's the goal. So NVDX, get the hell out of my portfolio. And I sold calls essentially at the money, right? So I sold a $6 strike. It was at the money up here. And I ended up rolling it. I did a rolling order and then I rolled it into this week. And, it's way in the money. And then I have two $7 calls also in the money that I rolled. And why am I rolling? I decided, even though I want them to go, why not just keep rolling them as long as they let me, right? It's going to be a loss, actually. I'm going to lose money, I think. I don't know. We'll see what happens when all's said and done. But I was okay with it because, to be honest, NVDX options chain is horrible. Like, if you're not close to the money, there's really no interest in the contracts. And I knew that up front because I knew NVDL was more appealing. It had more options interest, but it was unaffordable, which is why I was trading NVDX. But the fact, it does matter when you try to trade like a little further out of the money, it does matter. So for that reason, I'm saying bye-bye to NVDX. But on the way out, I'm going to juice every little dime I can get out of. So the ones that are open, again, I got 2 contracts at 7 and 1 contract at 6, both of which are in the money. And today, it's probably going to be even worse. Like, Nvidia is probably going up even higher due to the recent, tariff news. So as far as I'm concerned, these shares are gone. I'm just going to roll them. I'm going to roll these calls as long as I can, collect as much premium as I can. Hey, if I break even, I do. If not, I'm okay with a little loss on this one because, again, my strategy going forward, I need to simplify it, and I need to play it a little safer. It's index only. Of course, it's triple leverage index, guys. I'm not a degenerate, but you know what I mean. So right now, the only index I've been playing with is TNA, but based on the new strategy, based on what I've gone through, I'm not going to be so strict with a 10 contract rule. I'm going to allow myself lesser, position, so I could trade UPRO, so I could trade TQQQ. Hopefully that makes sense. I definitely want to trade UPRO. That one I'm looking forward to because it's the freaking S&P, man. Anyway, so that's the update on NVDX. I didn't get in too much detail, but basically those shares are going. TNA, love TNA. So I'll talk about this one a little more detail. So, all right. So what did we have? We had puts. Oh yeah. So I had these puts. I was rolling forever. A 34 and a 38. God, awful. Why are they awful? Well, TNA price is 21.82. And what I was doing is that 34 and 38, the money that was held for it, it was actually margin. So it was interest-free margin I was using. But it got to a point where I could not create rolling orders for credit anymore. And I sure as hell am not paying money to roll. So I gladly accepted the assignment. What the hell? I've got like hair in my mouth. And yeah, I had to. It is what it is. So finally, after much rolling, the 34 and the 38 are now added down here. And we got some put assignments. We got a lot. All right. It starts, the history starts January 10th. I got assigned at $42. Wow. That's a horrible price, right? Yeah, of course it is. Right now it is. You see TNA, it's at 21.80, freaking 82. I mean, is it going to, I need 100%, gain on that. But anyway, moving on. And then I got another 41, but one of those, I sold a call on it, did get assigned during the journey. I got assigned at 42 at that time. So that's a goner on that one. But moving down, we got assigned a 41, a 40, and then just recently the 34 actually got assigned on the Thursday. The 38 got assigned on the Friday. Okay. So I have currently, well, actually, I have to fix this formula because I actually have 500 shares with around a 33 cost basis. And yes, I'm using the overall cost basis still because even though one got, assigned away. So think of it that way. 500 shares I got. All right. Now, so those two puts we talked about. Last week, I sold a put that expired on Friday. Okay. As I mentioned, I did liquidate some stocks. I was holding Ulti, I was holding FEPI, and I was holding SPY, kind of like like a savings account, like a high interest savings account. But I said, you know what? It's time to cut ties and liquidate and turn this baby into an all options account. So I sold my Ulti and I sold my FEPI. I did not sell SPY yet. I will when I need to, but I sold those so I can sell more puts. All right. And I did. I sold a put. Current at the time, TNA was at 20. I sold a put at 16. Okay. Again, I want to be safe. It was 20% out of the money. The delta, I don't have the delta, but the delta was low, of course. And, it ended up closing at 21.82. TNA closed at 21.82, which was above 16. So great. It expired worthless. So for my troubles, I collected 50 cents per share. That's $50 in premium. And that annualized 142%. So good money there. All right. So at the same time, what am I doing? I'm selling calls. Again, I got 500 freaking shares. TNA was at 20. I went all the way to 27. That's 35% out of the money. I mean, pretty safe, right? It ended up being 23% out of the money, which obviously more than safe. And I collected $20 for that. Why? Because the IV was so damn high. And guess why? Another reason, because their options chain is freaking amazing on TNA. It goes up. You could do trades way up there. NVDX, you go up a few strikes, you get nothing. There's nothing there. No one's playing that. TNA, forget it. There's people all over the place. So that's why I love TNA. You know, you're able to go that far out of the money and still collect 20 cents a share. $20 in freaking premiums for basically, I consider, little to no risk. Again, in my eyes. That annualized yield, again, only 45%, but 45%? Hell yeah. All right, moving on. TNA, I did another call. This one, all right, yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, so it was at 1942. Sold another call, 25. This time, it wasn't 35%. I did 28% of the money. I did have the delta. Look at the delta, under 10. So if your delta's under 10, you should feel pretty good about that. So, but in the end, it did close at 21, which again was 14% out of the money, but it closed, you know, it's safe. Expired worthless. How much did I collect? 14 cents per share, so $14, and annualized at 90%. Again, the annualized percentage is based on how much you're putting up, how much you're risking versus how much time is involved with the, you know, the execution date versus expiration date. So there's several factors. It's all in the formula if I ever get to share this. But all right, and then last but not least, TNA put. This one is actually open. This is the only trade I have open outside of those NVDX calls at the moment. So here we go. So it was at what, 2086? I sold a put on TNA at 15. All right. So obviously, if you sell a put, you want it to stay above the 15. 20% out of the money, 28% out of the money, very safe. Delta 10, super safe. Right now, it's 31% out of the money, right? So it's going my direction, super safe at the moment. How much did I collect? 32 cents per share, $32. And it's an annualized at 111%. So again, what is my strategy with this put? If TNA goes up today, like a lot, this put is going to be very cheap to close. So you see the premium per share I got, 32 cents. Like it may go down to 10 cents, right? So the question would be, should I buy to close this position for 10 cents, collect the rest of the 22, call it a win? Or do I leave it alone and let it ride out, collect the remaining 10 cents time value through the rest of the week? That is a good question, right? And it's a question that I need to answer myself, if I even have the freaking time, right? Who has the time to worry about this when they're working? Nobody. But yeah, so that's the position I'm in at the moment. All right, so we talked about the put assignments. Yeah, man, I'm a bag holder in TNA, and I'm good with it. Oh yeah, premium income so far I have earned on the TNA wheel is $2,170. So good stuff, right? Good money. So if you take that and you divide that by the number of outstanding shares, where is it? 600, right? I did use 600 because, again, it's all in the wheel. I don't care that 100 got assigned. Right? Did I? Yeah, I considered all of them. So it's $362 per share. So my net cost basis technically would be $35.72, even though it's showing $39.33. But whatever, man. Like I said, I'm not really using that. All right, so that's the update on TNA. Right? Easy enough. So this is how I'm tracking the wheel going forward. Each individual position is going to have its own tab for the individual wheel. Makes sense? Great. I hope it does. All right, so as far as income last week, I did produce $344. Much better than the week prior. Much better than the week prior to that, and that. So I'm back in business. $344. Capital needed. I only put up 12,600. I yielded 2.72% for the week. That annualizes at 141%. So again, it's still small money. And now that I sold my ulti and I sold my FEPI, I only have SPY and MSTY that's paying me dividends. So I have to keep that in mind. And now I have to produce even more income from my options trading. Because why? Because my mortgage comes out of this account. So I want you guys to keep that in mind too, right? I'm not reinvesting everything. I'm reinvesting everything after the $1,300 mortgage, all right? So that's key. That's key for me, at least. Maybe not for you guys. All right, guys, so that's it. That's the options update. That's the Monday recap. That's the whole big party, all right? And I'll leave it on this screen as I talk through the rest of the video. But again, this is my plan. These are the funds that I'm going to trade mostly going forward. TSLL I have to keep. I love trading TSLL. That options chain is amazing. Again, is Tesla safe in the long run? Hopefully. They're creating freaking robots. This should be fine, right? But yeah, these guys, they're also down a lot, so they're also more affordable. But again, I always said if I can't afford 10 contracts, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to change my mentality now that I'm doing, lower delta plays, especially on indexes. I should be able to play with a lot lesser contracts. So that's my thinking. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. All right, so as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we'll try again next time. All right, okay. All right, what else? If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down below. I know I did a post. Let me know if you have any questions for the next video on options. But the problem is most of the questions were YieldMax questions. When I say questions related to options, I'm talking about like options questions, not YieldMax questions, if that makes sense. I know they're relative. I know YieldMax is an options play. But I'm just talking about like in general for you trading options if you had questions. But whatever, it's all good. So that's pretty much all I got for today. It's a Monday recap. Back to work. Yay, hooray for us. Yippee, yippee. So we'll just end it there and move on, right? So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in the freaking keyword. What is the keyword? Well, the keyword today is, I don't even know. What is the freaking keyword? Keyword is low delta. How about that? Yeah, that's right. I'm speaking Greek. I know, I hate it, but low delta is key in this crazy ass environment, man. It is. You gotta play it safe, man. You gotta do it. I know we're all degenerates in heart, but we gotta learn. You gotta learn to deal with what we got with the current environment. So today's keyword, if you made it this far in the video and you would like to prove it, you gotta type in low delta. Make sense? Great, wonderful. All right, I just want to say, guys, I hope you all have a great week, and of course, thank you for watching and have a great day. And I will talk to you tomorrow.